I am so glad we're talking about men weaponizing food in household. This is one of the main reasons I'm so glad I will never have to have a man in my house. Because men feel entitled to the food of the house and will exhibit a level of control over it that can become so extreme in nature that even other people within the household will starve at the expense of men having more food in the house. For example, everybody may get 2 pieces of chicken, but suddenly your father or your older brother is getting 4 pieces each. And these people might not even eat all this food, or they force themselves to eat all this food in an effort to exert some type of dominance or control over the food source in all. And if ever you raise your voice to say, hey, some of us also need to eat, suddenly the providing is thrown back in your face. And this man might not have even bought this food. Typically, it's the women of the household buying the groceries. And in the modern day and age, it's also their money being used to do it. But especially if you're a child speaking up to, say, an older male relative, they will use not only their added years as justification, but also the fact that they may be a growing boy or a grown man. And even the women of the house may be told to limit what they're eating or be given these rude notions whenever they're making a play, insinuating that they should have less food on theirs. And this, of course, comes at the expense of sacrificing the less food for others to have more food on the basis of sex within one family unit's household. And it goes beyond even just at the dinner table. Even if you bring food home for yourself, these same men will eat your food. They know it's yours. I remember having to leave labels on my food. I remember having to hide food just so the men of the household wouldn't use food as a resource by which to further oppress you, especially if that was something normalized in the household. And they will eat things you spent your hard-earned money for, and they'll be like, I'll pay you back though, but it still doesn't replace the labor of you having to go and get, and sometimes even food you've cooked for yourself they will eat. And this is why it's important to teach your sons how to cook for themselves so they don't automatically become a nuisance and a pest wherever they go, and also become a heightened abuser because of how they view food, especially through the lens of the fact that they cannot prepare their own. Living amongst men, you really get to see how they are and their selfishness and what aspects of life will bring it up. It's important to make sure you have a selfless partner, especially when that partner is a man, especially if you are trying to raise a family with him, because he will starve you and your children out as long as it means his belly is full.
So the ladies over in the 4B movement subreddit are also talking about men weaponizing food. So she says, my best friend sent me this TikTok and it opened up a new discussion for us about the way men treat food and by extension everything as theirs to consume. As theirs to consume. Everything as theirs to consume. All right. We both witness it in our own homes and personal relationships, where men who eat the majority of the groceries women buy will simply devour the meals we cook and still expect us to replace, soothe, and serve. Is it really 50-50 if you're only eating a small fraction of the groceries you buy for the household?
So now, I don't know how my FYP got this way, but it's full of posts of women explaining their experience with men weaponizing food. And every woman seems to have a story. And I thought about it. I also have a story.
I remember getting in trouble because when I was about 13 years old, I went back and got a second piece of chicken for dinner. I had been already served like one drumstick. I was 13, mind you. And my mom's boyfriend wanted to be able to eat a half a chicken dinner meal, so at least 4 pieces of chicken. And he was so upset that I went back and got a second piece of fucking chicken. Men want to control the food of the household. And I vowed that when I had children, I was never, ever, ever going to be with a man who acted that way about food. Because first of all, You as a man should be providing enough food for everybody in this household to eat adequately. I have to do the providing for everyone to eat adequately. My kids are definitely going to eat their fair share, not you motherfucker.
So it's this content creator on here, and one, she's a FAMU alumni just like me. Hey. And two, she was talking about how men weaponize food, and I'm here to share my story. So, bitch, I'm gonna just tell y'all about like all the instances where it didn't dawn on me that he was weaponizing food, and it really sucks how I feel like we should just start teaching our girls in middle school what abusive men look like, because they don't just become that. Their moms enabled this. Their moms enabled this type of behavior under he's a growing boy. Bitch, I'm growing too. Fuck is you talking about?
Now, this is one of the funniest things that I've ever heard on social media. I've heard women, in particular black women, blame black men for damn near everything. But this one that y'all sent me, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to laugh as much as I did when I first heard it, but it is hilarious.
And I don't want no man in my house eating up all the food either.
Look at the caption. It says, men weaponize food. They weaponize food. Okay.
When I prepare food to last me a couple of days, I have peace knowing that when I go in my refrigerator, the food is in there because there's no man living in my house eating up my food. And I'm talking about a grown, able-bodied man that's able to buy groceries, prepare groceries, cook food, and feed himself. Men will weaponize food against women. They will.
I've never heard that in my life, ever. What y'all men doing in the chat? Y'all weaponizing food against these women? Y'all having food fights? You eating up fruit snacks? What y'all doing in there, man? I've never heard this. We be getting cooked.
Purposely see you cooking and prepping meals and eat it all within a couple of hours just to see you have to go back to the store to get groceries and stand in the kitchen and cook. A lot of these men don't like for women to not be in the kitchen and have a couple of days off. A lot of men don't like to see women resting. They like to see you performing labor, and they will weaponize food against you just to see you do that.
So, you know, I told y'all, my wife loves to cook. She literally gets pissed off at me because I just got some factor meals or whatever. She gets pissed off when she can't cook for me, right? We was laughing at this shit so hard. It's like, man, what? Weaponizing food. Okay, I've never heard this. All right, let's continue.
Men know exactly what they're doing when they do this. And that's why I don't want no man living in my house.
That's why? She don't want a man. I mean, I hate to project, but maybe that's not your choice to either have or not have a man in the house. But since you don't have a man in the house, go ahead and run with it, lady. The reason why you don't want a man in your house is because he's going to weaponize the food against you. You're going to meal prep, and there's some dude that's going to come in there and eat all of your food up, and you're going to be just ass out. I'm pretty sure the next thing is going to be, yeah, men weaponize food, and that's why black women can't lose weight. It's your fault, man. Who is it? Who in there eating up all the food? Jesus Christ.